Okay, so a lot of people have asked the same question of why should you, if you're getting either multiple kids tested or you yourself and then siblings test it. And the reason I suggest to do it, and you're gonna do what you want to do anyways, but so I have my kids tested on here. The first thing I want to tell you, I'm not associated at all with gdmatch.com. And sorry about my voice, I'm getting over a cold still, so yeah. So the first thing I want to do is I'm just going to pick Eurogenes, because it just happens to be the one that I like personally. And put my son's kit in, and then I'll go back over here and I will find my daughter's kit. And I'm just going to choose the same exact one on the opposite side. And in here, I'm just going to choose, I'll just stay with K13, just because that's what both of them are on. Put the kit in, K13, kit, and K13. Choose to go on and run those DNA kits with this particular admixture. You're going to get something that looks generally pretty close. Okay, so here we have the one on the back screen is my son's test. And this one right here is my daughter's test. And you can look at like North Atlantic. It shows that my son is more North Atlantic than my daughter. Um, my daughter's more Atlantic than my son. It just shows the differences between the DNA. You see the different, basically the different makeups. Now, my daughter, who happens to be more olive skin and whatnot, it shows that she has this right here, and for some reason, everybody apparently wants a. This is Native American. Everyone seems to want that, and that's what you're gonna see right here. So you see, she has it listed, but my son doesn't have it listed. But both my husband and I, both the kids share the same mother and father, but the results are still always going to be slightly different when you look at one child versus the opposite child, just because they inherit information different. And that's basically all really DNA is the information and how you're made up. Like I said, it doesn't really matter which one you choose. Let's see. So we're going to do this one right now. First thing you want to do, obviously, is have the correct kit. And then choose whichever one that you're looking to choose from. And we're just going to do World 22. And then compare the test against each other again. And they're always going to be generally the same. I mean, this here again, this is my daughter's test, and in the back's my son's test again. It just shows little differences between the different tests. And that's one of the biggest things that you're going to want to look at when you're looking at whether, like I said, whether it be having, testing multiple children versus testing yourself and having your sister test it or your brother test it. It's always going to be slightly different. And then we'll go down here and pull out the other one. So we did this, so I want to make sure that I'm doing exactly the same one on here. Let's see, add mixture heritage. And we did the K12B. And here's another thing that you're going to see as well. Here's my daughter's kit, and my son once again in the back. You have things like Northwest African. And the reason why you're going to have stuff like that is it's not going to be so much African as, what's right above African, or Africa, I mean. You're going to have Spain, Italy, all of those areas. That's what you're really looking at right there. And then so you have, the same you have two siblings who have the same mother, the same father, and generally the same areas on um, both kids. Looking at their little pie charts here, generally the same, but one child obviously here has the Southwest Asian, where this child doesn't. And that's one of the reasons why, if you're into learning more information about, where exactly you come from, or versus your sibling, that's really what that is. There's always going to be small things that's going to make you a bit different. Now, obviously, we know that my son has the Southwest Asian in him, but it just simply doesn't show because, for whatever reason, he didn't inherit it. But I know that I have Southwest Asian in myself. My husband doesn't, so I know that my daughter got this part of her DNA from me, where my son didn't get it from me.